Welcome Brawlers, I'm the Hermit, and we're gonna continue in Hellraiser today playing Atraxa Grand Unifier. For 3 and 1 of each except red mana, we get a 7/7 legendary Phyrexian Angel with Flying Vigilance, Death Touch, and Lifelink. When she enters, we reveal the top 10 cards of our library, and then for each card type we may put a card of that type from among the revealed cards into the hand. The rest go on the bottom in a random order. So we're gonna have a diverse count of creatures, instants, sorceries, artifacts. Artifacts we have a couple, and planeswalkers we also have very few. And then a decent number of enchantments. Obviously some of them are gonna be dual types, so for instance we have the Overlords. They count as enchantments and creatures. Psychic Baleful Shriek. It's an artifact creature. And I think those are mostly it. The rest we are going to also be trying to get some value out of it. So for instance we do have Troll of Khazad-dûm. It counts as a creature, but it works essentially as another land. We can cycle, get another land. Some of the sorceries that we're going to be playing are going to be either removal like Prismatic Ending or Bloodchief Thirst. We also have discard, Thoughtseize, Mind Spike, and even Phantasmal Extraction. This one is from Alchemy, and it essentially costs 1 if we were not the starting player. And then we see the non-lands our opponent have with mana value 4 or less, and Thoughts is one of them. Well, it goes into exile, not discarded, so a little better in most cases. We also have Malevolent Rumble, and Witherburn Command for a little bit of ramp. In the case of the command, it's not exactly ramp, but we do get the land back since we are going to be playing fetch lands. Then we have removal, and since we want also to blink Atraxa now and then, some of the cards are going to be having dual purposes. So for instance, we have Parting Ghost. We can blink our Atraxa, or if we give our opponent a fish, we exile one of their creatures and it's gone forever. A little similar with Touch of the Spirit Realm. We discard it to exile Atraxa and return it at the end step, or we can just Oblivion Ring something our opponent has. Some of our other enchantments are going to be Rhystic Study and another enchantment creature in Cameo of Bamboo Groves. Since we have a decent amount of fetch lands, we have Hydroponics Architect, and because we also want creatures, like I said, we have Agent of Raffine. These are a little bit of card advantage engines that we can get soon enough in the match, and they tend to compound or snowball, something like that. But we also have Treasure Cruise, Dig Through Time, and we also have some rats. We have Toxic Deluge as well as Farewell, if whatever we need. So the planeswalkers we have Liliana and Narset, Parter of Veils. Since we have a decent amount of non-creatures, we are going to be essentially drawing 2 with Narset over a couple of turns. And since we're going to be killing and destroying or discarding our opponent's cards, we have Reanimate and Virtue of Persistence as ways to bring them back. So that's the deck. Now let's head into the queue and unify against our opponents. So against the fairy we need counter spell protection, so discarding and maybe even one of our lands. So let's try to mulligan for that. Any day now. The fairy players like to take their time when they're making choices, even if that choice is just to mulligan or not. Phantasmal Extraction is good enough, I think. So brainstorm. Okay. I guess we'll see what they keep. If they have that fetch land, they will immediately shuffle. And with extraction, maybe Lorien rebuild. Well, I mean, island cycle. That is ponder from opponent. We're gonna take. Do we want to take the verdict? I think so. We play the might and tap land. Okay, they place their thumb so that we are incentivized to exile it. But little do they know. Guess we take the non-fetch lands. We have 6. Could be 7, so we treasure cruise. Ooh, that was a bad draw. But it seems opponent might be struggling to get their lands. Fire Medallion. I think we finally pulled the trigger on that. Okay, so here if our opponent tries to bounce the Halfling, we have touched the Spirit Realm. Oh, they bounce it in the upkeep. Sure. Team Rip. We just touched the Spirit Realm. Yeah, we can even do this without using the Halfling mana. Or it might not be wise. Maybe they have Pact of Negation. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's Mind Spike. Rest in peace. Day of Judgment. Now we play Agent of Ravine. So now I guess we play Sorority, keep up Wash Away. So it resolves. We can do that. Yep. If we do that, then we kill Jace. Opponent still has only 2 cards in their hand. We have enough for Dig Through Time also. Well, if we use Wash Away. Trick Serenade, we counter the Serenade. Yep. GG's. Opponent knew what we had all along, so they knew it was coming. GG's. Ragavan, but we don't have 1 mana. Oh, this doesn't work either. Because this isn't white right now, so. I guess they don't like Bayflow's tricks. Ragavan comes back. Emry, and we need something better than that. Guess this is better in a way. reality chip. So now they have Sapphire Medallion. Guess we don't want them recasting their bubble. Blue.
Nobody knows Dominaria's shadows like me. Sacrifices must be made.
Should discard the Strix.
I'm tired of your secrets.
Virtue minus 3. The memory lapse. We respond by edict. And they concede. GG's. Yeah, they knew. Now they knew we had another removal spell. We were gonna keep losing Liliana. And even if they didn't know about Power Drained, we also had it. Maybe for the medallion, so. Good game, Semri. Tamillo. So, I'm not a huge fan of this hand. Because we cannot deal with Tamillo, but eventually we have Reprieve and Boyfriend. Able to scream. That's good enough. Item banned by piranhas. Seems like they have Flare of the Nile. Commandeer. That is unfortunate for us. Archmage's Charm. Guess we kill Tamillo here. Um, so Liliana resolves.
This fight finished before brunch.
They play Snapcaster.
Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
Every plane has stories to share. Think before you act.
Is reverse engineer.
Drop it.
And if we don't get something soon for Tamillo, we just lose.
Use your words.
I guess we might not, so let's concede right here. GG's. Rusko. Yeah, I guess this removal needed to be something better. Maybe this isn't a great hand. Although on the other hand, if they didn't keep removal, which I doubt. Okay, maybe they didn't. They thought they needed to control until Atraxa by counter spells and the like. Maybe discard. So just the Architect was good enough. Isika. And we need to name the Prismatic Breach. Also, maybe the Necropsy can deal with it. Here I want to get green source if we need it, because we need it. And we'll see what happens from there. Also, we can keep up counter spells, so this isn't a priority as long as our opponent doesn't have enough mana to cast the Prismatic Breach. They want to play the front side. I guess we're okay with that. Automatic lantern. First, we reprieve that. Relapse again. And this is Phyrexian or Angel. Angel. One. Okay. Yep. GG's. What did we reveal? Thoughtseize. A Planeswalker, yeah. Considering was fair. Good game, Jessica. And it's a mirror. We have Thoughtseize into counterspell, so... But if we do that... Road Spiral, Explore. I guess I should have realized they didn't have blue mana, so taking Narset was a mistake. I could have taken Explore there. The Wandering. Mind Spike, let's counter that. They're gonna Uro. But that's okay. Maybe not that much. Yeah, we might be in trouble actually. I think we need to try to find removal for the Wandering. We have Terra Sunder, we have the Might. We have Ley Line Binding. I guess that didn't do much, even though we had one discount. Our only other spell is Spirit Triumph. And maybe they will have well, they don't have double blue for Uro, but they might have this turn enough cards in their yard for it. And there we have it. Puro mana. And then he's staying at 6 mana. And that's a dark ritual. Right. Innocent Bloods, Lands, Talisman, Merchant Ultimate. Is they have enough for the ultimatum? Here, let's just binding the old gods and accept our fate. We can technically bounce Atraxa, but still we're gonna lose to the ultimatum, so GG's. MG. That is Mox Amber. They played their boots. We should Ristic Study. Subtlety Exiling Ristic Study. And next turn we can hopefully kill it before it gets the boots on. Transit Mage. Or Paradox Engine. And we didn't draw another land, which is unfortunate. Act of Negation, huh? I mean, that was risky to say the least. We discard the frog, kill Emry. And now they don't have enough mana for their pact. Right. This isn't a legend, so. Yep. I was just thinking they were gonna be skipping a turn, so. But yeah, they didn't pay for their pact. They just lose. GG's. Isika, also known as the Prismatic Bridge. Guess we start with extraction. Spell Pierce or Spike. Okay, makes sense. Better to get it out of the way before we want to play something else. Let's explore. Spell Snare. They brain surge and they have a land. Guess we mill and drain. And we have a remand. So at least we're not out in the open. We just need to play the patience game. Brainstorm. Misrise Village. Now we can cast Atraxa and it's not being countered. Can we do it next turn? 9. Yes, we can. The Prismatic Breach. We play Remand. The Memory Lapse, the Remand. Now we farewell. Enchantments. And I guess graveyards. Here we play our Atraxa. One, two, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I guess we send Unable to Scream and Binding away. No, maybe the cornucopia. Edict, sure. And here we play Liliana. They remand, sure. Liliana again. Domin's Vito. In that prism, okay. We are just going to binding it. is here. We village for Witch Enchanter. We touch the Spirit Realm. They get lost. Sure. And here we say you, their commander. Now we reanimate. One, two, three, four. Yeah, and I guess we have this one. They know we have counter spell, 2 pieces of removal for their commander. They deluge X7 to the command zone. Or 1, 2, 3. Opponent plays them. And I guess we have lethal, so I don't know what opponent is thinking. We just win. GG's. So against Rusko, and we have Thoughtseize, we take a little. It's a little slow on the Thoughtseize, but we have a Signet to go with it. Edict, Oracle, Black Market Connections. We play the Might, opponent Edicts, and here if they connections, we binding. Here we story these two. We need 7, okay. They seem to have a counter spell. Atraxa, we have 5. 2, 3, do we want? I guess we want Study and Belmore. We should 3 sticks here. It's Cyclonic then. And subtlety, no less. Brainstorm. They paid 1. And GG's, they didn't have it. Good games, Rusko. Yara. If our architect doesn't die, we can rumble. No, it's gonna die. Oh, Inquisition. So I guess we don't get to rumble. We do. So oh, that's not. That doesn't make green yet. And we get the good old combo. Architect into double lands. Mystic Study, yeah, I like that better than Agent. And opponent concedes touristic. Good games. Now, what do we need? Magic Legion's Valor. Okay, this one we might lose. Unless we have this hand. We cannot cast the Strict Zone. Goodbye. And I guess this is a jackpot hand. During Innocence, we reprieve that. Yeah. Failure. So this even interrupter. First, actually, maybe we just pay the 2. Enough glory, so what's gonna be? Okay, during Innocence. And the Jenny. I mean, a Jenny has haste, but the
I will prove
token
my
doesn't.
worth to my pride.
And now we have double caverns. Nice, nice, nice. Aurelia. Ooh. Rip. And yeah, we were gonna part in Ghost Thalia. We had enough mana to cast Atraxa. GG's. So that's gonna be it for today, and obviously control is a little bit difficult to build when you're trying to get to win against so many decks like we saw Ragavans, we saw Ruskos, so aggro, mid-range control. But I think Atraxa actually, or at least this version of this deck, does a pretty decent job of it. It might not be the best, maybe you can put on some of your pet cards, your pet control cards, but I think we are definitely in decent shape. If I were to cut something, I think these two, because the fact that we are playing all of the Triumphs and the Verges so that we have untapped lands means that we are not going to be playing the Surveillance. So the Elf is not as useful as it is, but maybe just cut one, cut probably Treasure Cruise, because at the end of the day we are still going to be playing a bunch of instants and sorceries that are going to go into your yard, so maybe we can play Uro like the Atraxa opponent that beat us. That also makes sense. So just pick what you want to do. Maybe you can mill something, you can play some more mill cards just other than the command and the Goif, so that you can also get 2 Uro. So, but like I said, I like the deck as it is, I enjoy playing it, and I think you win. Well, I won, I think, more decks than we lost, so that's a good rate. As for the video, so thank you for watching. I'm the Hermit, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.